What's up? In this video, I'm going to give you guys an in-depth look at our keys and track rig that we've been using on Sundays at our setup and teardown church. I'm going to walk you through my keyboard setup with the 61 SL Mark III that I've got right here, and then how that synergizes with our Ableton setup. Coming up. It's coming up. My name is Ashton Turner, and I'm the Chief Creative Officer of Churchfront, and I'm also the intern at our small setup and teardown church, Mission Lakewood. It's good to stay humbled. But as the intern, I play keys and run Ableton during our services. So let's just dive right into the keyboard setup. The keyboard that I've been using is the Novation 61 SL Mark III. And other than the name being a bit of a mouthful, the capabilities of this keyboard are extensive. After using the Novation Launchpad to trigger all of our cues in Ableton, which I'll get into in a minute, Novation was actually nice enough to send us this keyboard to test out. And I've had a blast trying to learn it and figure it out because there's a lot going on with this keyboard. So this keyboard, I mean, just look at it. It's super pretty, right? When you push a button, it lights up. It's really cool. And also, when you push it down, it's semi-weighted. So I was using the M Audio Hammer 88, which is hammer weighted. So it doesn't have quite as much give. So for a lot of more melodic, some more synth parts, using this keyboard has actually made it a lot easier for me to play keys. Since all of my keyboard sounds are actually coming from Mainstage, which is running Sunday sounds and all the patches that they have available, with the 8 faders and the 8 knobs that are on this keyboard, I just mapped those to the different buttons in Mainstage. So I can really quickly fine-tune the sounds that I'm playing on Sunday during a song. If I need a little less delay, I just move the knob a little bit. It's as easy as that. And then using the grid feature, I actually mapped different patches to different buttons on the grid. So when the next song comes up, I just click the button and then I've got my next patch loaded up. And really on Sundays, that's it for my keyboard rig. I'm pretty much just using it to control Mainstage and to control my patches with Sunday sounds. And so obviously this keyboard is capable of a lot more than just mapping some MIDI triggers to it. This keyboard was designed with the studio in mind. It is really extremely capable when it comes to using it for creating or producing any sort of music. Along with it being able to control Ableton, and it's got a built-in sequencer, it can receive 8 different virtual or analog instruments. And then there's also a pattern feature. So each one of those instruments can have 8 different variations. So you could have a total of 64 different variations playing at once, live or to record into Ableton. So I've been messing around a tiny bit with some backing track production, and this keyboard makes it so easy to do that. I don't even have to touch the actual computer itself. It's all done from the keyboard. But as far as Sundays go, and only using it with Mainstage, I'm really only accessing about 1% of what this keyboard can actually do. It's a little bit of overkill for our little setup and teardown church. I know that Novation actually has a different keyboard for $150 compared to the $600 that this bad boy runs for, called the Launch Key. That also comes with a 61 key variation, and it just doesn't have the built-in sequencer and some of those other features, but it has all the grid and it's got the buttons and faders, so you could still easily map it to Sunday sounds if that's what you're running, and then save yourself $450. And that's mostly it for my keyboard rig. But then, since we implement a click and tracks in worship, the next crucial part to this rig is Ableton Live and how I use the Novation Launchpad to trigger everything in Ableton. So let's just quickly jump behind my computer so I can show you guys a little bit of what is going on with this part of my rig. Take a nice little stroll, a little Ableton stroll, if you will. Why not? All right, so I'm here behind the computer, got Ableton pulled up here. I'll zoom out so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. I'm just gonna show you guys this really quick. So you can see we've got all of our songs. We've got song 1, song 2, song 3, song 4, song 5, postlude. We've got some looping pads. We've got some sermon pads going on. A lot of things. So I'll zoom in a little bit here. This is all of the backing tracks that we're using to kind of make our band sound a little more full. So I can play just a little piece of that. You'll hear it for a second here. 3, 4. So we've got the click going, and then we've got some of those supplemental kind of sounds going on that just add a lot. We only have 4 people in our band, and so it's really great to kind of have a fuller sound. Then on top of all of that, we've also got automation going on. So if I go to number 1 here and click play, go over to light key Pro Presenter, you'll see Pro Presenter turn on, and then on the downbeat, 3, 4. lights turn on. So it's super cool. Everything is just very well put together. Then, so since I'm programming all of our Ableton sets every week, the automation and the tracks and the click are awesome. But one of the coolest things, and because it actually relates back to my keyboard rig, is all of the tempo is synced from Ableton to Mainstage. So if I go back into this first song, you can hear here for a second. I'll just kind of go to the start here.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
You kind of hear that little synthy part, right? It's got a little delay, got a few things going on. So it's really important that when we're playing that and we're running on a click, that all my tempo can sync up to my keyboard. So it does that. So I'll even pull up right here. You can see in my timing section here, like if I go to song 2, you'll see the tempo change to 138, which is what Only King Forever is at. If I press 3 on my launch pad, go to song 3, have it all, you see the tempo goes down to 73. So any delay, so I move up this little fader right there, maybe turn down this pad a little bit, and then, I mean, obviously I'm not even playing in key, but you get the point. So Ableton is what really can just make this rig shine. It's so great. It's great to be able to know that my tempo is synced up, all my delay effects are good, and it just gives me a lot more freedom to kind of have that full sound without having to tap tempo, which is what I used to have to do. And obviously nobody's perfect and nobody can tap tempo exactly on time when you're playing on a click. So Ableton just gives me a lot of freedom to kind of add these sounds and have a full piano sound and challenge myself to play these things. But really, that's it. That's the whole rig. Obviously, I'm just using Mainstage, getting a little supplemental help from Ableton, and this SL Mark III 61 Novation, whatever it is. It's a little bit overkill for the context that we use it in. If you do find yourself wanting to produce backing tracks and work more in studio, a keyboard like this is amazing. But again, like I said earlier, Novation has the launch key, which could really do all the same things that I'm doing right now. It doesn't look quite as pretty, but you know, it still has all the buttons, all the faders that you can map to Mainstage, and really it would have the same exact effect as this one does without all the pretty showy lights. But all that being said, I have seriously loved getting to use this keyboard and learn it. Thank you, Novation, for giving me the chance to try it out. I'm going to be really sad when we have to send it back. Maybe there's room to talk there. No, but seriously, it is a great keyboard, and it has been a lot of fun implementing it into my keyboard and Ableton rig. Also, if you want to learn more about Ableton and you're interested in how automation and click and backing tracks can transform your ministry, I do want to invite you to check out Jake's hour-long, totally free Ableton Live Masterclass. So the link for that will be down in the description. You should totally check it out if you are interested in learning more about Ableton. That's it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, just leave a like. Leave a like right down there, smash that thumbs up, and if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, there's more related content right over there. And also, do not forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out on any of our latest content to help you grow yourself and grow your worship ministry.